WCIA 3 News at 10.
Protests continue tonight over the death of George Floyd, the unarmed black man pictured here who died Monday in police custody in Minnesota. That police officer has been fired and now charged. Good evening. I'm Mark Maxwell.
And I'm Jen Lask. Protests continue all across the country and here in central Illinois. Demonstrators spoke out against police brutality. And we have team coverage tonight with Jamie Mays and Paul Cicchini, many others out there as well covering this. And we are going to begin our coverage with Paul, who has been following a group that started in U of I's campus town. Paul, what's happening now?
We're back at the corner of 2nd and Green in Campus Town. I'm going to step out of the frame. So this group, just in the last 5 minutes, was about 3 blocks west at the intersection of Neal and Green, blocking that intersection to traffic. And there were police, Champaign police, at that intersection as well, allowing the protesters an opportunity to basically chant, sit down in the middle of the intersection and allow them to block traffic. They marched back eastward along Green Street, now, as I mentioned, at 2nd and Green. They'd been here for well over an hour now, and the group has grown in size from maybe a couple dozen protesters to 3 or 4 dozen protesters. Largely peaceful protesting at this point. No vandalism that we've seen, contrast to the protesters or rioting and looting that was seen earlier this afternoon along Prospect and the damage that was done to those businesses. But as you can likely hear behind me, and I'll have Andy turn around and take a shot going west, you can see there's some cars that obviously want to come through. And there are police a little bit farther down the street, but they can see what's going on, and they are largely allowing these protesters to have an opportunity to do what they are doing at this point. So as long as nobody's being violent, they are going to seemingly allow these people to block the intersection. We're not sure for how long. But for now, we are live in Campus Town, and we'll check in a little bit later. So I'm Paul Cicchini, back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you, Paul. Stay safe tonight. Meanwhile, people are cleaning up damage that was done today.
Stores that were broken into all over Champaign. We have more on that now with Jamie Mays, who is live in Champaign. Jamie, can you give us a sense where you're at, what's happening right now? What are you seeing?
Right, Mark, I am at Hollywood Liquors right now. It's right across from our station on Neal Street. And around 9 o'clock, we were out here, and you could see the employees trying to clean up. This window here had completely been broken open. They were boarding it up, trying to make sure that no one else could get inside. You can see at the top up here, they weren't able to board it up completely, so part of this business is still open. This is part of the cleanup that a lot of businesses right now are dealing with. In an effort to cut down on the looting that's happening throughout the city, the mayor has implemented a curfew. That curfew is set to take place from 8:30 tonight until 6 a.m. tomorrow. The city and police are reminding people this curfew is to protect and not to punish. They're asking to not be in public places, including streets, sidewalks, and highways. There are some exceptions, including police, fire, media, the mayor, and police chiefs. They say that this doesn't mean they aren't in support of peaceful protests, but there shouldn't be rioting, looting, or violence.
Concerns and anger that the protesters are expressing are raw and real. In response to the senseless deaths and mistreatment of African Americans from across the country. But this type of unlawful behavior is harmful to all of us.
I spoke with the owner at Hollywood Liquors in Champaign just about an hour ago, and they're one of several businesses in the area that had their business vandalized. He says liquor and tobacco was taken from out of there.
I'm a little scared right now, so I don't know, it's just not right, but I don't know, Champaign Police is working on to control it.
Now, Hollywood Liquors says they still plan to open tomorrow if they can still get their store cleaned up. As far as other businesses in the area, the mayor says it will be up to those business owners to decide whether they choose to open or stay closed tomorrow. Reporting in Champaign, Jamie Mays, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Jamie, thank you. A curfew order is also in effect in Urbana until 6 a.m. and the compounding damage there from those businesses that suffered during the coronavirus closures as well. Looters damaged several businesses in districts today in Champaign, including at Marketplace Mall and on nearby Prospect Avenue. Stores like Macy's, Old Navy, Field & Stream at the mall were hit before police arrived. Looters are also seen on video here taking items from Gordman's and from Kohl's across the street. They then moved toward Prospect Avenue, some breaking into Binny's and spilling over into the Target parking lot. That's where police fired tear gas. Looters also broke into Shoe Carnival and Best Buy, where they took electronics before police arrived. And the crowd eventually started to disperse. But the Champaign police chief says they had a plan in place to try and handle it.
We've been talking with our officers for days now about the importance of trying not to make this civil unrest to be about the Champaign Police Department. We know people are upset about the national incident that has happened, and we recognize people's First Amendment rights for freedom of speech, and we recognize people have a right to lawfully protest. But the illegal self-destruction of property, that stuff we cannot tolerate.
Champaign Police is teaming up with police forces from Urbana, U of I, Parkland, and the Champaign County Sheriff's Department. And south of downtown, vandals also hit a jewelry store in Champaign tonight. The owners of Flora Gems were seen boarding up their windows after several people came through with hammers and smashed windows outside and glass cases inside. They locked up valuable items before the vandals broke in, so it is not believed that any valuables were stolen or missing. Police have surveillance footage now in their possession and are investigating.
Meanwhile, over in Springfield tonight, police are blocking off the entrance to White Oaks Mall. City police and state troopers are out there right now. Earlier, Dick's Sporting Goods was broken into as well. The Walmart on 6th Street in the capital city put up barricades to stop looters, and police are actively monitoring several locations throughout the city. They are telling people there to stay home. This comes after an earlier demonstration in Springfield remained peaceful. Thousands of people showed up in their cars for a procession to honor George Floyd. The Springfield chapter of Black Lives Matter says they were shocked at the turnout and had to extend the route to help ease traffic in downtown Springfield. Police also helped direct traffic there. One officer who was there called the turnout beautiful.
Chicago remains a city on lockdown after mobs vandalized police vehicles and looted storefronts Saturday night. The city closed off entrances to downtown and called in 375 National Guardsmen and 100 state police today to help control the crowds. Governor J.B. Pritzker in an afternoon press conference said, quote, "For much of the day yesterday, the protests here in Chicago were beautiful, massive, and peaceful."
But late in the evening yesterday, the protest became about violence and damage. And that changes the conversation away from the terrible acts that took George Floyd's life, away from the insidious racism that we all have a role in addressing.
Governor Pritzker also encouraged anyone who took part in a public demonstration today to get a test for COVID-19. Chicago's Mayor Lori Lightfoot said the arson and looting there, the police have evidence it was, quote, absolutely organized and coordinated. She said the FBI and ATF are investigating. Meanwhile, President Trump is blaming the violent protests on far-left agitators. He also wants those known as Antifa, a far-left-leaning group that resists white supremacists. He wants them designated a terrorist organization.
And the president wants to know what the FBI has been doing to surveil, to disrupt, to take down, to prosecute Antifa. And if they haven't been doing that, we need a plan right away.
In a statement, Attorney General William Barr said the violence instigated and carried out by Antifa and other similar groups in connection with the rioting is domestic terrorism and will be treated accordingly. All right, we check in now with Jack Griffin to look at the weather.
Well, we had a very nice day today weather-wise. We had a lot of sunshine and temperatures were very comfortable, just like it was on Saturday. We topped out today at 75. Coming up, we are looking at another comfortable day for tomorrow. The temperatures will be going up and the storms will be coming back. We'll have that next.
WCIA 3 News is sponsored by B&B Construction.
Breathe in the bacon, breathe out the bacon. In bacon, out bacon. Western bacon cheeseburger, or famous star with cheese. Buy one, get one for just $1. Only at Hardee's.
Don't spend your time wandering around the web. For the most concise local news and accurate weather coverage, turn to WCIA.com.
Options. No matter what you're looking for, it's always good to have them. And when it comes to your internet, Xfinity gives you the ones you need. On a budget, there's a speed for that. Not ready to commit? Try a plan with no annual contract. Want to save even more? Just add Xfinity Mobile and save big on your wireless bill. It's internet with the power of options. And that's simple, easy, awesome. Save up to $400 a year on your wireless bill when you get Xfinity Internet and Mobile together. Plus, get $200 off a new Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra. Call or click today.
Breathe in the bacon. Breathe out the bacon. In bacon, out bacon. Western bacon cheeseburger, or famous star with cheese. Buy one, get one for just $1. Only at Hardee's.
When you need to know the weather will be in the coming week, tune in to WCIA 3's 7-day forecast. You can count on our team of meteorologists, Kevin Lively, Adam Claybon, Jack Gervin, and Amelia Henderson for the most accurate 7-day forecast. Sponsored by Edelman. Now, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Jack Gervin.
Well, Storm Tracker Doppler is quiet. It was a very quiet weekend with temperatures that were in the 70s. We had a lot of sunshine both days, and we are expecting things to be very quiet for the day tomorrow as well in terms of our weather. We've got a lot of sunshine, still expected thanks to high pressure, and you can see that Storm Tracker Doppler is quiet not only in the viewing area, but the state and a lot of the Midwest as well. So we're looking good here. There are some showers and storms, though, that are in far western parts of the Dakotas. That is going to be eventually coming to our area, but that won't be until the middle of the week as a system that will be bringing in much more warmer and humid air will be coming into the area. So we'll be talking about that here in just a moment. Temperatures right now, though, it still remains very comfortable. 61 in Champaign as well as in Mattoon, 60 in Effingham, 64 in Taylorville as well as in Springfield, with winds that are out of the east currently. Pretty calm. In fact, places like Danville, Lincoln, Jacksonville, Paris, reporting very calm winds out there. So it is a very comfortable evening. You can keep the windows open again overnight tonight, since lows will be dropping down to around 53. East winds at around 2 to 5 miles per hour. But then for tomorrow, we are expecting temperatures to be about the same as where they've been the past few days. Still very comfortable, a high of 75. The one thing you'll notice, though, it's different about tomorrow. The winds out of the south, they pick up a bit more at around 10 to 20 miles per hour, and that will bring in warmer temperatures, and you can expect it to be much warmer overnight going into tomorrow night, where lows will be likely in the 60s, and then at that point, for Tuesday and into the rest of the week, we're then talking about warm conditions. If you did not get a chance to get your lawn cut this weekend, you got a few good days here, but then the chance for storms comes in by Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. High temperatures go from 75 Monday to the upper 80s, close to 90 for Tuesday, Wednesday, and for a lot of the week. And we are looking at a bit more active weather coming in here by the time we get to around Wednesday evening, as a chance for showers and storms comes into the area with that. That chance of storms will then linger in our forecast for Thursday into Friday, and then things will be quieting down a bit more going into our Saturday. Rainfall amounts as of right now remain pretty light, but as is the case with the storms that we had last week, if you do have those storms that do occur in your area where you live, you likely will have a brief but heavy downpour. So we're going to have basically a very summer-like forecast once again for most of the 7-day. Again, a comfortable day tomorrow, but the temperatures do crank back up by the time we get to Tuesday. Guys?
Jack, thanks. We've been telling you about the protest taking Champaign, also nationwide, according to the Associated Press. 4,100 people already arrested in these protests and demonstrations this weekend.
And you're taking a live look right now in Campus Town. We are going to have the latest updates on the protests right here in Central Illinois after this.
Every town in America has an auto repair guy that everyone goes to. In Monticello, it's Valentine Tire and Automotive. Jared and Sam are those go-to guys, and they're trusted by a long list of satisfied customers.
Having roof problems? Call Freeman Exteriors today.
Getting the family around this summer is so easy with a golf car from Battery Specialist Plus Golf Cars. No hassle, easy and fun. Experience the convenience of owning a club car golf car and the options it provides you. Check out a showroom vehicle or get something custom at one of the Battery Specialist Plus Golf Cars in the area.
The open road, the wind in your hair, the feeling of freedom that drives us to go out and discover. At Chevy, we're committed to getting you there with confidence and peace of mind. If you need a new Chevy, interest-free APR financing for 84 months on many of our most popular models. You may even shop online and take delivery at home where available. And when you do, your Chevy Clean dealers commit to using enhanced vehicle cleaning measures with CDC-approved cleansers, so you can find new roads with confidence.
Trust the WCIA3 Storm Team. Our experience brings you the most accurate forecast in Central Illinois and the latest weather conditions from outside in the Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing Weather Garden. WCIA3, your local weather leader. Don't spend your time wandering around the web. For the most concise local news and accurate weather coverage, turn to WCIA.com.
Having roof problems? Call Freeman Exteriors today.
This portion of WCIA3 News is sponsored by Tapman's Collision. Live from your local news leader, Jen Lask, Mark Maxwell, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with Amelia Henderson and Marley Weirda on sports. You're watching WCIA3 News at 10.
As you heard first here on WCIA3 News, a curfew is now in effect for both Champaign and Urbana.
The curfew went into place in Champaign at 8:30 and at 9 o'clock for Urbana. They both last until tomorrow morning at 6. WCIA3's Jamie Mays is now live in Champaign. Jamie, I see people there. They're in violation of curfew, as I understand it. Do we know what police are doing in response?
That's right, Mark. Earlier today when I was talking to you guys, you could see that the top of that window up there was open. Employees have come back and they have made sure to board this place completely back up. Now, in an effort to prevent more break-ins, prevent more looting like this from happening throughout the night, there is a curfew that has been set in place. There are curfews in place for Champaign and Urbana. Champaign's started at 8:30 and goes until 6 a.m. Urbana's started at 9 and also goes until 6 a.m. The Champaign mayor and police chief say this doesn't mean they aren't in support of peaceful protests, but there shouldn't be rioting, looting, or violence. Of course, we've seen a lot of looting today. Several stores were broken into in the Marketplace Mall. Other stores on Prospect Avenue were also hit. Now, as you can see, those business owners have left. They're cleaning up a little bit on the inside, and there's going to be a lot of that going on tonight and tomorrow as business owners try to clean up everything that has happened throughout today. Reporting in Champaign, Jamie Mays, WCIA3, your local news leader.
All right, Jamie, it makes sense that the people there, the store owners and employees, will want to come back and protect the premises. Do you see anything about police presence there still, or have they moved off location?
There was some police presence out here around 10 o'clock when we came out. You could see some protesters in the street. Police were trailing behind them. But since we've been here at Hollywood Liquors, there hasn't been any police presence that I've seen. It looks like pretty much they've kind of cleared out and probably in other parts of the city.
All right, Jamie, thank you.
And we continue our live coverage of a protest on U of I's campus. WCIA3's Jennifer Jensen has been following this group for more than an hour. Jennifer, how many people are out there?
Jen, earlier today there were dozens of people out here. Part of that group has cleared out now. This is what we're looking at. So these protesters for the past few hours have been walking along Green Street holding up signs that say Black Lives Matter and continually chanting, quote, "No justice, no peace, I can't breathe." That is in reference to the death of George Floyd in Minnesota. Now, like I said, so far this protest has remained peaceful from what we've seen while monitoring it for the past couple hours. And while the protests were happening about an hour ago, police periodically blocked off the intersections along Green Street where people stopped in the middle of the street to protest. At one point, a U of I police officer got out of her squad car in the middle of the street and kneeled in solidarity with those protesters. Earlier, those protesters were blocking off the intersection at Neal and Green. Champaign police blocked off that area. Cars were trying to pass through, and a protester even put his body on a car to stop it from getting through. Right now, oh my goodness, let's move down. Let's take a live look here. Please bring this shot back up. People have actually started to get violent out here, looting in the streets, breaking the windows at a store called Fix It on East Green Street. This is what we're looking at right now. People are attempting to break the windows, and they have gotten through the glass. This protest did remain peaceful earlier, and the violence has just now started. Now people have gone into that Fix It store, shattering more of the windows down in this street. So far, what we've seen from the few hours we've been here, this is the first store that people have actually started to break into. Are we taking a live look at this?
We want to make sure, yes, we have been seeing this live look from you, Jennifer. We want to make sure.
We are staying at a safe distance.
Good.
The people that ran into that store have now come out. As far as we can see, nobody is left in that store, and now protesters are moving back to the area where they were before. We are still, like I said, on Green Street here in U of I's campus town.
And this is something you haven't seen in this area since starting, right?
No, Jen, as of a few hours ago, people were very peacefully protesting. Police were helping to block off the intersection so that they could stand in the middle of the streets to peacefully protest. This is the first sense of violence that we have seen so far in this area tonight.
All right, some sad, tense moments there. We're going to keep monitoring this on WCIA.com and throughout the night. Breaking news if and when we need to. Of course, police have their hands full as these demonstrators have been migrating a lot. Jennifer, thanks. All right.
The Bright Spot is sponsored by Kramer's Siding and Windows.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join. I got my education because of the Guard. I got to travel a little bit and experience a whole different culture. It helped me get my job, helped me pay for my house. Being part-time really helped because I could have some opportunities that were still in education.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service.
Get out of town with a getaway to amazing Arcola. Aikman Wildlife Adventure, an animal sanctuary, drive-through park, and petting zoo with up-close encounters with amazing animals. Must do, must see, amazing Arcola. Make it a weekend getaway. The Best Western Plus Arcola, a hotel and convention center with handcrafted Amish furniture in the rooms, picturesque views of the prairie, free hot breakfast, and indoor pool. The best hotel in Amish country of Illinois, the Best Western Plus in amazing Arcola.
Forecast first from WCIA 3, sponsored by Matex, Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
You never stop thinking about your family's safety, and neither do we. To improve the stability and safety of our gas system, Ameren, Illinois is using the latest technology, such as pipe x-rays, to identify and correct issues during the construction process. Learn how we're using advanced technology in Springfield at amerenillinois.com/gas safety. And to keep things safe in your neighborhood, call Julie at 811 before you dig.
At Mercedes-Benz, nothing less than world-class service will do. That's why we're expanding your range of choices. Many dealers now offer optional pickup and delivery and at-home maintenance, as well as online shopping with home delivery and special finance arrangements. So whether you visit your local dealer or prefer the comfort of home, you can count on the very highest level of service. Get 0% APR financing up to 36 months on most models and 90-day first payment deferral on any model.
There may be a lot of reasons you need to call a roofing company, but you don't always need a new roof. Hi, I'm Cord Schroeder, owner of Bash Pepper Roofing. Our specialty is maximizing your roofing investment. Whether it's a leak that needs fixed to get a few more years out of your current roof, or it's time for a new one, we'll give you an honest opinion on the best options. As a locally owned business, we've proudly served East Central Illinois for the past 100 years. Bash Pepper Roofing, large or small, we cover them all.
Monday on CI Living, how do you move safely these days? All it takes is 2 men and a truck. And we're in the virtual CI kitchen with Harvest Market. Set your DVR for 4.
The WCIA 3 weather app, always on. Download it today. Storm Tracker Weather is sponsored by SK Exteriors. You're watching Sunday Sports Wrap on WCIA 3 News.
You know, if you want there to be a solution, you got to become part of it. You can't just sit on the sidelines and expect somebody else to take care of it.
The sports community is speaking out in response to George Floyd's death. Protests are happening around the country, and Eastern Illinois head football coach Adam Cushing had a meeting with his team on Friday morning to discuss racism and social injustice. He later released a statement on Twitter using his platform to share what his athletes and staff expressed to him. I spoke with Cushing today, and he feels it's his responsibility as a head coach and a leader in the sports community to take a stand on behalf of his team.
It is something that again, I don't want to claim to understand, but as I digested it, as I listened to men and young men that I love and serve on a daily basis, it became absolutely apparent that I had to do something. I have to stand up for what's right, and I can't comprehend that my children are raised in a different world than my staff members' black child. I don't. It's challenging for me, and that's where I spent all that time trying to unpack it. And so I just do what leaders do. I think do that by listening.
And we have an extended interview with Adam Cushing on our website. You can also read his full statement there on WCIA.com. Members of the Illini community sharing their messages as well. Illinois head basketball coach Brad Underwood released a statement on social media just a few hours ago. Part of it says, quote, Illini basketball is a family. We believe in treating everyone with respect, and we try to foster compassion. More information on that is also available on our website. And when we come back, we'll have our final senior send-off of the year, plus Brett Barron spoke to former Centennial standout Jeff Lindgren and his future in the pros. Stay with us.
Breathe in the bacon, breathe out the bacon. In bacon, out bacon. Western bacon cheeseburger or famous star with cheese. Buy one, get one for just $1. Only at Hardee's.
Here's to the road ahead. Trust Toyota to be here for you.
Right now, Toyota is offering 0% financing for 60 months on a new 2020 RAV4. Or you can lease a new RAV4 for $229 a month. You can even shop and buy online from the comfort of your home. Many Toyota service centers are open to help keep your vehicle in top shape and may even offer no-contact vehicle drop-off.
All from the brand you trust today and tomorrow. Toyota.
Hi, Brad Fandel, Kramer Siding and Window. Since 1955, we've been serving Central Illinois with quality, worry-free home improvements at a great value. So call us today to take advantage of our huge sale. At Kramer, we don't just do a little bit of everything, we do a lot of everything.
The most accurate forecast with weather alerts and interactive radar. The WCIA 3 weather app, always on. Download it today.
Breathe in the bacon, breathe out the bacon. In bacon, out bacon. Western bacon cheeseburger or famous star with cheese. Buy one, get one for just $1. Only at Hardee's.
You're watching WCIA 3, your local news leader.
The future of Major League Baseball is still uncertain, which means minor league teams are starting to trim down. Hundreds of players were released from their teams this week. WCIA 3's Brett Behrens caught up with former Centennial pitcher Jeff Lindgren, who has not been cut, but he's staying ready if the season does come back.
Jeff Lindgren is keeping his dad busy. The former Centennial and Illinois State pitcher is home for the foreseeable future, waiting to go back to Florida to resume spring training. Until then, he's playing catch with his dad, John, in the street to keep his arm in shape. Lindgren is also taking advantage of his parents' home gym. Last year's 24th round pick by the Marlins was about halfway through spring ball when everyone at the facility was told to go home due to COVID-19.
It was really weird, actually. They called us in for a meeting, I think, on a Sunday. Basically told us to go pack your lockers up. We can't really use the complex. They're shutting everything down.
Lindgren had a great start to his pro career. The 6'1" right-hander spent just a few weeks in low A ball in New York before getting moved up to Jupiter to play with the advanced A team.
Got pretty excited. Called my mom and dad because they were actually supposed to head out to Batavia in 2 days to come watch me. And I said, you have to change your plans there. But yeah, it was crazy. Got off to another great run there in Jupiter and stuck there for the rest of the year.
Lindgren was tabbed to be back with the Hammerheads in Florida to open up this season. His journey to pro ball is a story in itself. Originally committed to Parkland as a junior at Centennial, he got a late offer from Illinois State just 3 weeks before his freshman year was supposed to start. He jumped at the opportunity and ended up helping the Redbirds to a run in the NCAA tournament last spring, knocking off nationally ranked Louisville and Indiana. Playing on that stage helped Lindgren get more exposure and ultimately drafted just a few weeks later.
As we kept winning, obviously, people started taking interest in us, and you put yourself in the right position, people are going to see you, and that's when it takes over from there.
And that paid off for Lindgren, who is now in a position to continue living his dream of playing professional baseball. Reporting in Champaign, Brett Behrens, WCIA 3 Sports.
All right, Brett, thanks. And now it's time for our final senior send-off of the year. We start with Teutopolis baseball player Mitch Hardiak. He was hoping to bring the shoes to back-to-back state championships, but he'll head to Kaskaskia next season. We also honor Danville baseball player Craig Glapian Jr. The Vikings were looking to bring home their first regional title since 2012. And in Clinton, we honor Colton Spa, who qualified for sectionals last season. We've had a great time honoring area athletes this spring. Here's a look back at some of the athletes we've recognized. We honored 138 seniors from 45 different schools across the viewing area. On behalf of all of us here at WCIA, congrats to the class of 2020. We've had a great time doing this, and we're happy to shed some light on what was a very heavy day here in Central Illinois.
Indeed, Molly, thank you very much, and congratulations to those athletes. But as we do wrap it up here at 10 o'clock, we want to remind you curfews are now in place in Champaign, Urbana, and in Springfield until 6 o'clock. If you're out now, police will try to disperse crowds.
And we are going to be continuing to follow the latest updates as police monitor and track crowds moving through the city. Stay with us. Thank you for watching.